Yeah, it definitely. Okay. It definitely was not live. Let's see if we're live now. Whoops. We don't want to hear that. All right, let's see. So today we're going to be covering price action. All right. Okay, yes. Why does it say that it's loading? Okay. All right, so price action. You know, this is trading basics. So I'm just going to give the real basics of it. Feel free to ask any questions along the way, right? Welcome to the call, Bernie, Benna, again, Miss Haley and Nelly. I'm going to start sharing my screen. I'm going to start with the whiteboard first, and then we can move over and look at what it looks like on TradingView. Please don't mind me. I am very bad with drawing. And this is like drawing. Let's see. All right. So we're going to be dealing with price action. And Bernie, I do need to call
you. I heard you call my name a little bit.
Pardon
just
me?
now, but I didn't. I was tending. Did you call my name just now? I was tending to Nasi.
I was just saying welcome to the call. Thank you. All right, so price action. So first we're going to look at the uptrend, right? So does anybody remember how you can spot a trend? Okay, I'm going to give a little refresher on that. Right. So for an uptrend, it's higher highs and higher lows. Do you remember hearing that? Higher highs, higher lows. So we're going to start here. Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and delete that. So up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? So as we're going, that's the high right there. Then we come down here, and this is going to be a higher low. Why is this a higher low? Because it's higher than this one. This was the low, went high. There's a higher low. Then we're going to have a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And that's how you identify an uptrend, right? The high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So this is the uptrend. Got it? Then a downtrend. Who can tell me what the downtrend is?
Wouldn't it be lower low, lower high, right?
Yes, absolutely, Nelly. So for a downtrend, We're starting up top. We're going low. We pull back up. That's a lower low. Oops. All right. So this is going to be a low. And it pulls up, but it's a lower high. So it never came back up to the initial high. So it's a lower high than here, then a lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and so on and so forth, right? And that is how you identify a downtrend. Now, price can be trending up, it can be trending down, but what's another direction that price can be going in? Can anybody tell me?
Sideways, consolidation, pullback, not.
Consolidation, when it's
Sideways.
going sideways. Yes, exactly, Miss Haley. So when it's not breaking the high or breaking the low, it's just consolidating. So it's just going to be, oh, wait, sorry. It's just going to be moving along in between. Ooh. So it's not breaking up high, it's not breaking the low, it's not breaking the high, it's not breaking the low. So it's just making equal highs and lows. So this is consolidation. Now, you can trade a trending market, you can trade consolidation. The choice is yours. Me personally, I tend to look for a trending market, and that's what I will trade. I will trade a trending market. It's just simpler for me. Wait, consolidation. That's consolidation, or some people may call it a channel, right? It's just going sideways. Okay. So get a picture of this, and then we're going to move on to look at how we can enter a trade, knowing all of this stuff, right? All right. So let's first look at the uptrend. So we know that there's the floor and the ceiling, support or resistance, right? So the floor is here. The ceiling here, right? So if it's at the bottom, that's the floor. What's another word for the floor, Miss Haley?
The floor, oh Lord. Oh Lord, I forget.
Anybody want to help?
Support.
Support, exactly, Vena. The floor, another word for the floor is support. And what is another word for the ceiling?
Resistance. Roof.
Exactly. All right, so the bottom is the floor, or support. It's like a house. The floor support the foundation. You stand on it, and then at the top of the house is the ceiling. It's the resistance, right? The ceiling, resistance. Now, if price is moving along inside of support and resistance, we are going to wait. We are going to wait to see what direction it's going in before we're going to take our entry. We're not going to just enter, right? So say price is going up, going down, going up, going down. I'm not trading a consolidating market. I'm waiting for price to either break up or break down. And that's when I'm going to see now, okay, maybe I'm going to get in and take a trade. And I see we have somebody out there in YouTube land watching. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Right? So if price breaks down to the downside, I'm not just going to get in either. I need to wait on price to come back to the floor. The floor is now going to be the ceiling, and I will possibly look to enter here. It could do this, it could do this, and then continue down. That's one possibility. It could just come up and just go down. That's a possibility. Another thing that could happen, it could break above, come down, go up, come down. But the thing is, you want to wait for it to break out in one of the directions. So when you're doing your markups, understand that you're waiting and you want to react. You know, in life, it's better to be proactive. You want to, go ahead, try and set yourself up so that, hey, okay, when this happens, I'll be okay because I already have this in place. Here, you don't want to be proactive. You want to react. You want to allow things to happen first, and then you go on, right? Because look at how price came here. This is what most people do. They're like, okay, it comes here, I'm going to sell. Come here, I'm going to buy. And where it could be cool for a couple times, the next time you come to do that, and you may risk a whole lot of money because you're like, oh yeah, I'm in and out. No, that's when it's going to break out and it's going to make the big move and it's going to go 100 pips, whatever. But you thinking that it's going to be doing one thing and it's not doing it, and you're just staying in there, waiting for it to bounce back. And instead, you're losing more and more money. Has that ever happened to anybody on the call where they're waiting for it to come back because you're confident in your mind, but no.
Yes, happen all the time.
Exactly. So that's why I like to trade a trending market. So, and I just want to wait on it to move. So with that, that's where you want to pay attention. Like I've mentioned before, you want to pay attention to what session it is. So what's the currency pair that you're trading in what session? Because that breakout is not going to happen if you're trying to get that going for a London pair during an Asian session. Make sense? Welcome, Nini. Thank you for being here. All right. So that is, if you're looking for a buy, you need to see price break up. You got to wait for the retest. So let me go ahead and and label that. You want to wait for the retest. Let me see if I can label it. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. Oh. I can't label that. So right here, I'm going to just put an R. That's the retest. R. R. We're looking for the retest. So it breaks above. And you guys probably have heard me say this before. You buy the ceiling of an uptrend. So here we see this is the ceiling. It breaks out. And when it's retest, that's where you want to buy. Because now the ceiling is the floor, you know? You buy at the floor, but it was just the ceiling. So you buy the ceiling of an uptrend. And on the flip side, when it's a downtrend, this is the floor, you want to sell the floor. So you're going to wait for it to break the floor. And then on the retest, when it comes back to the floor, it is now the ceiling. And you're going to sell. Does that make sense? I remember when I first heard that, I was so confused. But do you guys understand that?
Yes, makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Okay, awesome. Perfect, perfect. So it's all about waiting on the retest, and that's when you're going to make your move, right? And maybe you don't want to get in right away. Maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to wait and see the W forming. So the first, it breaks out, then you're going to see the W forming. When it comes back down, then you take it. Then you take it. You know, the second touch. Make sense? And then for the sell, you want to probably wait till you can see the M, part of the M form. When it comes up, go down. The second time it touches that ceiling, then you sell because you're like, okay, you know, you always just want to wait. You want to make sure that it closes above, it breaks out. When it comes to the retest, make sure that it closes above, and then you're going to take it. Yeah, you got to be brave. You just got to pull the trigger and, you know, take that trade. Does anybody have any questions based on this?
Yes. So you buy at the W and then you sell at the M.
Yes. Yes. So that's if you want to wait for two touches. A lot of people are gonna take a more aggressive entry. If you just doing it right immediately at the first touch here, that is more aggressive because it can always come back down, you know? And that's one thing you need to remember. You need to remember that it doesn't matter how great you think you are when you're analyzing, the market is going to do whatever it wants to do. So don't for 1 second think that, oh, I can't lose and not exercise proper risk management. I'm always going to stress that you want to use proper risk. You never want to be overly confident or cocky because the market will humble you. And that will let me talk about trading in the zone. You guys get that book. The link is in my description box for anybody that needs it. Okay. But yeah, any other questions based on this before we move on to TradingView to take an active approach to get some practical? Welcome everybody out there in YouTube watching. No questions? Okay, awesome. When nobody has questions, I never know if it's that I'm so awesome or people are just shy. I would hope that it's not shy and that it is because I want you guys to ask. Right, so let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. All right, let's go over here. Oh, okay. Okay, let's close these things. It may be Mr. Polite out there in YouTube land. Mr. Polite, is that you? Because you're not typing anything in the chat. Are you one of the people out there watching? All right, so let's look at what's happening here. So we know that the market, oh, the market hasn't, okay. So I keep forgetting. Now that it's daylight saving time, guys, we went back an hour. So where the market used to be opening at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, now it's opening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm like looking, why? Oh, it is open. It was just switching to 5:30. Oh, okay. So it's still 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're on the 5-minute chart here. I don't know why I wasn't seeing the countdown, but there it is now. All right. So let's hide that. For me, being a scalper, I need to check certain things before I look at the market. Now, other people may not necessarily do everything that I'm doing because it's not really gonna matter if you're a longer time frame trader. But I have to check the news. So I'm gonna go to forexfactory.com. Okay, we see nothing really happening here. Let's look at what's happening on Monday. Okay, let's hit more so we can see what's happening on Monday. On Monday, 4 a.m., there's news on the Euro orange folder. Orange folder is medium impact news. So, I always say risk 1, 2, or 3% of your account. 1% if you're new or a conservative trader, 2% if you're moderate, 3% if you're aggressive. So say you're that aggressive trader who risks 3% of your account. That's a lot. I would say reduce your risk because there's an orange folder. And also at the same time, there are other news occurrences happening on the Euro, right? 4:30, also news on the Euro. So I would definitely pay attention, not risk too much. There's a red folder on GBP at 1 p.m. and this is Eastern Standard Time. This is my time. When you log on to Forex Factory, you can set it to whatever time zone that you are on. I have it on my time. So just in case anybody's confused, like, oh, but that's not the time. It's based on my time. Okay. So red folder. So for me at 1 o'clock tomorrow, I would not be trading GBP. When I see a red folder, I'm staying away from GBP. I can definitely trade at 1, but I would not be trading the Great Britain pound. Now, where I wouldn't trade the Great Britain pound, but I would trade other things. If there was a red folder on the US dollar, I would just close my computer and go find something else to do. When there's red folder news on the US dollar, for me, and this is just my observation, maybe somebody else will see things differently, but for me, what I've noticed is that it can affect all the other currencies. So for me to be on the safe side, to not run into any trouble, I just will stay out of the market. If there's a red folder on the US dollar, I will reassess, come back an hour later and maybe I can jump in at that time. But that's me, you know. You practice in a demo and you see what the movements are. A couple weeks ago, I told you guys to look at your the pairs, choose one or two pairs and just study it, you know, get in a relationship with it. Nelly, you have a question?
Yeah, on the details at 8:30 tomorrow, what is the little star inside the envelope?
I have
What
no
does that
idea.
mean? Oh, you don't
I
know?
have
Okay.
no idea.
I don't know
FF
why it's a
notice.
star.
It
It's on,
says,
you see it, right? It's on 8:30?
yeah, I clicked on it. So anything that you want to, you just select it. FF notice, source issued an interim release to cover the impact of COVID-19. I don't know. So I don't understand anything about this, but do you remember I mentioned Anointed, my partner out in Nigeria? He studied business and finance and that stuff. And I think that's really been helping him because he's really taken to this thing. He grew his account, the $5,000 account, he grew it by $1,000 last week. That's his first week in his live account. And he, every morning, he's reading the news and he knows what all these folders mean, actually. So he's using that knowledge that he got to his advantage. So I actually am going to be sitting with him. He promised to teach me some of his thingies, some of his thingies. He promised to teach me some of that stuff. I would love to have him be on and go over a few things with us. Maybe I'll ask him to do it specially because, you know, in Nigeria, it's actually after 10 at night. Well, you know, you know, so it's late for him. So that's why he rarely gets on these calls, you know. But I'm gonna talk to him. Maybe I can I'm gonna connect you two because he can help you. I call him the expert. Now I'm like, you're the expert. Yeah. But yes, all I know about these folders is that yellow means it's okay. Orange means medium impact. Red means high impact. So I'm staying away from high impact. Orange folder, I'm reducing my risk. Yellow, I treat it as if there's nothing there. And then the gray folder signifies a public holiday, which I don't see any. I don't see any. But yeah, that's I never claim to really know. I just know that when CPI coming out and it's a red folder, it's going to be bloody for some people and some people are going to be robbing the bank. But if you don't understand things, it's best to not be in there and just observe until you can figure it out. Because remember I mentioned being reactive. So sometimes you just have to watch and wait for that crazy spike and then you can jump in and take advantage of it, you know, as opposed to being premature and then it goes the opposite direction and you lose money because you didn't even have a stop loss, you know, because some people are reckless like that. So yeah. So first thing is I check the news and then I am going to go to currency strength. I'm going to go to livecharts.co.uk. And there, I need to figure out what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to sell. And determining that, I just need to know how to count. So the more bars, the stronger the currency is. So right now we see the Canadian dollar being the strongest right now. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars, right? So the New Zealand dollar has 1 bar. That's the weakest right now. So I'm always looking to put one strong with 1 week. And when the strong currency is the first one, is the base, I'm looking for buys. If the first currency is weak, I'm looking for sells. So the first currency, that's the base. The second currency is the quote. So when the base is stronger than the quote, I'm buying. When the base is weaker than the quote, I'm selling. Now, when it comes to figuring that out, Euro GBP is an example of one being stronger than the other. So in this pair, Euro GBP, Euro has 3 bars, GBP has 4. So that means I'd be looking for what, Nelly? Euro has 3 bars, GBP has 4. Euro GBP, would I look for a buy or a sell in this instance?
A buy.
Euro is the base and it has
Euro,
3.
Euro is weaker, so it would be a sell.
Right, right.
Okay.
So that's what you're looking for. The sell is when the first one is weaker. But now here's something that I'm going to add. If there's only 1 bar of difference, I'm disqualifying that. I'm not going to be doing that pair. It's too close in strength for me. I'm looking for a big separation, like GBP NZD, it's 4 bars to 1 bar. So I can definitely go and look at the chart and I should see a clear move up or a clear move down based on there being a big divide. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, but that's where I was kind of confused because the base is weaker, but the quote is stronger. So what happens when both are strong?
So if they're both, I'm just looking for one to be stronger than the other. If they're the same, it's eliminated. One has to be stronger than the other. And if they're close, it's also eliminated for me. I need to see one weak, one strong. I don't need them being almost like twins, like GBPUSD. They're the same strength right now. I would not be looking at that, you know? GBP CAD, I also would not be looking at that. But
what's your reason for not looking at that? What would be the negative towards doing that when it's they're both strong? What would be the consequences behind that?
Okay, great question. So there's this line that I heard, trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. So with an uptrend, you're going to see a clear uptrend if one currency is strong and one is weak. With a downtrend, it's going to be the same thing. If they're similar, that's where you may see consolidation. Okay. And remember, these are rules that I follow based on being a scalper, based on me wanting to get in and out. You know, I'm up the same time you are. I'm up at 4. I'm looking to get in and out. By 6 o'clock, I want to be doing that exercise that Rudy wants us to do. You know, so I don't want to be in the markets all day long. I mean, it's not something that has to be that way. I know a lot of people think that, oh, trading, it has to take it's like a 9 to 5, it has to be 8 hours. It really doesn't have to be. It really doesn't need to be. You just have to choose your currency pairs, know when they're moving, and get in and out at that time. And if nothing's happening, it's not every day you have to trade, just when you see your setup, you get in, right? So let's look at GU, since they're the same right now, right? They're the same. All right, and so we see that it's really not going anywhere. See? It's coming down. That's GU right now. But the market just opened. So that's the next thing. The market literally just opened 45 minutes ago. It's not doing anything. We gotta wait, right? So the market opened at 5. Let's see. It made a move like that, but let's go on the 15-minute. Okay. So it opened right here. It came here. We gotta wait and see what it's gonna do. And this is GBPUSD. That is not something that's really gonna be moving right now because we're in the Asian session. That's gonna really be moving around 3-4 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when you want to look for GBP pairs. It's gonna start around. Oh wow, Miss Haley, you have a special guest on, Mr. Smart, right? So that's when you really want to be looking. It's not doing anything. Let's see. So here, unless it breaks out of here, maybe that can happen a little bit later. I don't know. Or maybe it's gonna not happen until 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. But you see, I put this right here. It broke down what we talk about. So it came down. So this is the floor. It pulled up. It broke all the way down. So now, what makes sense? What should we be doing now? What should we be looking to do?
We're looking for breakout.
A breakout. It can either retest here, because this is the breakout right here already. So it actually, this is the floor. It pulled up, but then it broke out. So we needed to come back and retest here at 1.22393. And we can take this for a sell, right?
What's in a downtrend?
Yeah, because we see it's going down. So yeah, that's what I think. Coming down, it stayed below. It broke here. It can retest here. And then in terms of a stop loss, we could then say, okay, maybe here. That's a red stop loss right here. So we get the short position tool. Long position is when we think price is going up. Short position when we think price is going down. Get the short position. You put it at the entry, right? So looking at this, the stop loss is like 25 pips. But me, I would just put it up a little higher, you know. I'll do 30 pips. do a 30 pip stop loss. Why not? Right? So I put my stop loss up here. Okay. And then CP1, that's 37 pips right there. And I think it's gonna at least come back here. But I put my take profit in blue. That's my take profit. That's just my color code. You use whatever colors you want. Green is my entry. Red is my stop loss. Blue is my take profit because you know blue, right? And red in MetaTrader 4. But while I have that as that take profit, I'm so accustomed to the 20 pip. So I'm gonna put that as my as a take profit one right there. Once it hits 20 pips, I'm gonna take some money, but I can keep it going 30 pips. Then I want to look and see, okay, so it could definitely come down here. All right, so let's put that there. Hold on, here's the burn. It can definitely come here. You see why I'm putting it there? Because this was another area that it touched. So then I want to move this. Yeah, so that would 50 pips. So I would be looking to catch 50 pips. And anybody who knows me, you've heard me say that GBP pairs are good for 50 pips, right? For me. Can we get more? Yes, we see Gus getting 200 pips, 300 pips, 400 pips. I know how to get 50 pips from GBP pairs. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes. How do you get those solid lines? I got the starch.
The
Starch
stochastic?
this. Yeah, I got
Mhm.
that. But how did
Mhm.
you get just the blue? Just the blue.
Okay,
I'm trying to
so
figure that out.
good. So last week I did a tutorial on TradingView. So I want you to go and watch that. But so the solid line, I have it in my toolbox here, the horizontal line. So the second thing here, if you open it up, it has all different tools. So the horizontal line, I have it starred. So it's just hanging out here in this toolbox. So when I select it, I can put a line. And once you have the line, you see this thing pop up down here. So I can click on that and I can change it to whatever color I want it to be. Green. So yeah, I can change the color. I can change the thickness. I have it on 2px, it can be 4. So you see it gets really thick the higher the number is. But I normally have it on 2. Right? So yeah, that's that. I have it online. It could be a dash. Some people may want to have it as a dash, as dash, or a dotted line, but I have it as a solid line. Okay. All right. So if nobody has any questions, I think that's gonna be it on today's class on price action. Let's see. I see Mr. Smart joined us, Miss Moore joined us. I'm gonna assume Zoom user is Finley. What's going on, Mr. Smart?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I owe you a phone call. I definitely saw that you called me. I had a hectic.
Yeah,
I told your mom I'm gonna call you.
I got you. And I just came on and I have the slightest clue what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's okay. You know what? You go back and you catch the replay and get
It's on
yourself
you.
feed because I'm live streaming on YouTube. So you can always go there and watch it, pause it, and get what's going on.
Okay, I do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nini, I see you as well. Miss Moore. All right. Bernadette, I gotta call you. I want to talk to you about something. I'm gonna call you as soon as we hang up. Are you available?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call you when we get off this line. All
Okay.
right, so guys, thank you for being here. Another trading basics session in the books with Rain on the Charts. All right. So be safe. Have a great